Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 and the unfortunate but still respectable end to the Baltimore Beeholes' second season. We were ousted in the division series. Unfortunately, Tampa Bay got by us, but again, they won the World Series, so you always want to lose to the eventual winner, and we did that one more time. Season score is 828, and apparently we can be proud of ourselves. Looks like we've got a new team owner. So let's go in and see some important messages. So the new budget is going up a bit. It's going to be $272 million. That's pretty nice. Our new owner, I am going to go through and take a look at this because I don't like that it's not oldie but goodie anymore, but I am probably going to go smooth out his owner tendencies just because like I said in the first episode, I don't want that to interfere with the challenge at all. I just want this to be kind of on a level playing field. But what he wants us to do is win, which is fine. We can have a winning record. Acquire a power hitter, maybe. We're not going to build a top 6 minor league team, but I think we'll reach the World Series in the next 5 seasons. So the owner demands look like they're not going to be too bad. And, okay, he didn't die. He sold the team. So very interesting. Let's take a quick look. And he's normal. He's meddling, but he likes winning. He's actually a little too lenient for us, probably. And with that winning priority, he might, I don't know, might unleash more budget. I'm not sure. But we're going to set all that back to neutral. And let's make sure nothing wild happened. We had some personnel leave, so we get to replace some. They were the ones who I kept on from the original save. And Butt Goody steps aside in Baltimore. Did anything fun happen with this? No, he's being boring about it. And a couple GMs got fired. Okay. So we are going to look at our development lab. We're going to check out the international amateur free agents. And then we're going to get season 3 underway with the off season. For the international amateur free agents, not a lot of bad personalities out there, actually. The highest potential rated player is catcher Julio Gallegos. We'll check out Oscar Dimas. Oof. Little ugly. Jorge Mora. Okay, that's Mora like it. And there are a lot of players we are scouting. These are all international amateurs. And we're just trying to get a feel for their personality. So as of now, I've only invited 6 out of my possible 10 players to practice for next month. And we'll see what happens there. Quick first look at salary arbitration. I don't have any major pending free agents. I do have a number of interesting ARB cases. We've got Brenton Doyle, who I never signed, and we've got Tristan Casas, who I also did not sign. Everybody else pretty on the cheap side. Mason Wynn, I would certainly like to sign as well. And Edward Cabrera is starting to get a tiny bit expensive compared to his level of production, so we may be looking to move on from Cabrera. But if we run into the upcoming free agents and players with bad personalities, unless somebody's developed a bad personality by now, this is really all I have to choose from. And it looks like Suarez is probably not going to get signed by the Phillies again. Last year, he put up a respectable enough performance that I would have been fine with him on my team. However, I am slightly concerned about his age being 31. He should be fine, but every once in a while, a 31, 32-year-old starts losing velocity. Lance McCullers Jr. may not be back in time. He certainly wouldn't be a bad pick. Of course, he's on the Cardinals. They have the injured pitcher. Cardinals are everything weird going on. But let's go ahead and clear the filter and look at everybody. And that is it. Another fairly weak class. Any more bad personalities? I wonder what Chris Sale is going to want. He's probably going to want too much. if I could sign him for a year, I might consider it. But as I was slightly afraid of, we've only got 36 million for signing players, and if I don't go into ARB, with a lot of those more expensive guys, if I sign them contracts, they'll probably be a little heavy on the front end because that's typically just what I do. We're going to bump that ticket price up to $41 before I forget. And we're going to bump this draft budget down to, we probably won't need more than about 10 million. And so what we're really looking at is somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 million. Now let's talk through some of the development lab strategy, just kind of the way I approach it. So I like to pull up my 40-man and then sort reverse by age. That way I'm getting my younger guys who are a little more pliable, a little more acceptant of change and training, and get them going. So Gage Wood, obviously the top priority. He's my best prospect. He actually came up to the majors through a few innings and didn't make a total ass of himself. So we're pretty happy about that. And the thing that sticks out very obviously here, that control is unacceptable for the major leagues. He's got room to grow. We do it. Everything else is like a little closer to major league ready. So let's go ahead and improve that control. And remember, I've got 20 slots in here. I'm not doing the full 30. Jackson Holliday's still a spry 22 years old. And lucky enough for us, he's got several ways we could go. Last time, I believe we went with plate discipline, and he didn't get it done. I feel like 75 versus 70i is good, but maybe we want to work on something else with Jackson Holliday this time. Take a little chance while he's young. Maybe go after that contact, because he could grow in that BABIP, and that would be just tremendous for him. So I rarely go for a more difficult program when there's gains to be made in an easier program. But in this case, I want to take just a little bit of a chance, and we're going to put Jackson Holliday on that quality of contact program. Mason Wynn, couple ways you could go with him. We could work on his gap power for sure. That's, I think, a medium program. We could also try to have him learn a new position. So if we check out his ratings, this is a man who can play some defense in a lot of places. And what I think is that if we do learn him a new position, even though it's a short program, it's an easy program. And if it even bumps him a tiny bit as a shortstop, or if, say, he learns to play center field, I mean, that would just make him such a greater asset. And so we're going to go ahead and have Mason Wynn learn a new position. Troy Taylor, who came up for us. The fundamental stuff for the pitchers is going to be movement. It's going to be control. Those are the two things you really want to do. It's very tempting to go after this changeup. Changeups are kind of hard and slow to develop. But the 45 control, it's not where you want to be at the major league level. Even for a hard-throwing reliever, you still want that control as high as you can actually get it. So Troy Taylor is going to try to improve his control. If we move on to Trey Sweeney, we've been working with him for a while. We've been trying to get him there. He knows second, third, short, left, right, center. So the only positions, if he can learn a new position, it would just be first base or catcher. Not terribly interested in that. His ratings are fine right where they are. I think we go for contact again with Trey Sweeney. I think that's just the way to go with him. So another hard program. We may end up doing more hard programs this year. Let's see. We're going to try to train most of these 26-year-olds. Shane Smith. He didn't come up last year, but he is kind of hanging around. He throws pretty hard. That slider improving would be kind of nice for him. If we work on his movement, I think there's a chance that would also boost his home runs allowed, even if his movement stays at 50 technically. The control doesn't have visible room to grow, so it makes it kind kind of closer to like a hard program, I think, unless they change the way that this works. I'm going to go ahead and work on Shane Smith's slider. Grayson Rodriguez, also 26 years old. He can still grow and control. Easiest call of the century. We're going to work on Grayson Rodriguez's control. Ty Madden. Never really got where we wanted him to, unfortunately. I'm not sure what we can do with Ty Madden. We're going to come back to him. We're going to see if we even want to invest one of these slots in him, because they are pretty valuable. 26-year-old Jose Ferrer, who seems to have lost a step. I still think it might be worth trying to develop that control. Yeah, let's do it. So far, we've got several improved controls. 4 of them, in fact. 2 quality of contacts, 1 learned position, and 1 secondary pitch improvement. It's kind of an interesting mix. Nathan Church, backup outfielder, not a lot of room to grow. I don't think I spend my development slot on Nathan Church. Tristan Casas, and yeah, we're going to do whatever we can with him. How much did he struck out a lot? He also walked a lot. Very interesting. Very 3 true outcome-y. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and go after that avoid Ks. I see very little downside other than if he fails the program miserably. That's really bad. So mixing in a lot more hard programs this time. It's kind of exciting. A little higher stakes. Ben Shields. Ben Shields I was so mean to. He came up, I gave him 1 start. He blew it. But he doesn't look that bad. He has filled his potential. At least his known potential. I think we'll probably leave Ben Shields alone. Casey Schmidt. He is also kind of filled out a bit. Do we want to work on his outfield by learning a new position? Let's say he aces this thing and gets up to 45 range and 50 error. Is that a guy I'm going to be wanting to back up my outfield? No way. Probably going to leave Casey Schmidt alone this time. Trent Harris. I like working on that slider. That's the first thing I see. So let's go ahead and do that. If my kind of ideas about this are right, then a lot of these really are no-brainers. There's going to be an objectively correct answer for the development lab regardless. But I think we're on the right track here. Zach Geloff struck out about 162 times. What happens if we learn him some outfield? It doesn't have that much of an upside. Do we waste a slot on him? Or is it even wasting a slot? Because he did come up. He provided value. I believe in him still, sort of, kind of. I can always cancel this out, but I'm going to let him work on his 2-strike approach. Henry Davis. He's got some room to grow. Now, we could go avoid Ks. It's a hard program. We could go catcher position training. But there's a little bit of gain to be had in gap power. So let's go ahead and pick that gap power. That is still a medium program. Fairly high chance of success. Chandler Champlain, unfortunately, is Tommy John bound. Probably. Out for 8 to 9 months. That's no good. How's Corey Lee looking these days? He's kind of filled his potential out. We'll leave him be. I don't think we're interested in Hunter Gaddis, although he's kind of looking a little robust here. How did he play in AAA? He didn't get too many innings, but I mean, respectably. We could go after that slider a little bit. Oh, wow, he's improved his personality. I'm pretty sure he's on the 40-man. Yeah, he's on the 40-man for sure. So we can promote him back to the regular team still. But if we ever DFA him, we have to watch out for that because we can't get him back. Brenton Doyle. He's fulfilled his hitting potential. However, I do kind of like the idea of training him up in a new position. Let's see. Can he even do that? Yeah. So there is some chance he learns left or right field, and that's what we really want to see. If he does learn an infield position, then the very worst thing that can happen is he becomes a better first baseman. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So that's okay there. Manuel Clase. Wow. What a pitcher, huh? Let's that cutter's got a little room to grow. So let us go ahead and work on that secondary pitch. Logan Webb. And he's going to be 29, so things are starting to slow down as far as development goes, but I think the lab is still potentially worth it. I don't really want to try to improve his velo, although where has it come from? 94, 96. It's actually increased, so that's wonderful. Let's go ahead and improve that slider. I think he would do great with a better slider. Tarek Skubal. Any room to grow here? Yeah, that slider. Yeah, we don't need to do anything with his velo, with his stamina. His pitch movement is totally acceptable with that high level of control. So let's try to turn him into even more of a monster and get a world-class slider going on. That would be great. So how many positions do we have left? We have 4 positions left. And if I can improve my major leaguers, I'm going to do it. Griffin Conine, let's skip Nootbaar for a second. That 40 avoid Ks, that is rough. But then also, that outfield rating is rough. I'm going to do something maybe a little wacky, counterintuitive here. I am going to try to improve his outfield defense. And it's a hard program, I know, but if we can get him fielding well, because let's look at his stats. Last year, I mean, pretty bad zone rating. He's just not a good right fielder. If we can make him a decent right fielder, that would be cool. There is also a great argument to be made for increasing his contact, of course. But Conine can hit him, so we'll go with that. And are there any of these older gentlemen that we want to work on? Let's look at Machado, because he's a key player. I think we'll let that be. Zach Gallen kind of slipped a little bit, but I don't see anything that jumps out as something that we can improve a lot. Maybe we're just team slider this year, but I do want to save a few slots for some more of my minor league players. And we'll have a quick look at Nootbaar. Yeah, he's fully developed. I don't know that learning a new position is going to help him much because he's already a competent first baseman. And he's not going to learn another position in the infield well enough to really do anything with that. So let us go down to AAA. And pretty sure I did Shane Smith, right? Yep. Okay. Reverse sort by age. Jay Savina, how's he coming along? He snuck into AAA without me really noticing. Okay, nothing really worth working on. If he catches a miracle, he catches a miracle, and that's fine. And Zach Fruit, there's another guy. Do we go after his control? Because it's really... Boy, he pitched pretty good last year, but only in 21 innings. Was he injured? 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, so Zach Fruit, we want to improve his control if we can. But I do want to look up some other players first. So we'll go into AA. And how's Drew Lafferty doing? Not worth investing in, to be honest. Griffin Herring's not bad either. Draft guy Darian Pendergrass. I just don't feel compelled to interrupt that natural development. Just see if he gets there. If he can get there, then we'll start working on him. So let's go to High A, where I know I have some quality players. Griffin Burkholder, I don't know that this is going to do a whole lot for him. He doesn't have a very high ceiling except as a defender. So I think we'll let that be. Was Jared Thomas any good? Kind of in the same position as Burkholder. Here, let's sort by potential. Make sure I'm not missing any real prospects. How's Evan Aschenbeck? He's all right. And Blake Aida. Okay, this is more of a consideration. He's got a higher control ceiling. He still needs to develop it. It'll help him out in High A because he's struggling. So let's go ahead and take one of our remaining slots and try to improve Blake Aida's control. Going down into A-ball. And Gabe Gackle? Who knows? Another very obvious vote for control here. Enough said. He's a pretty high ceiling player. So we want to get him there. And then we have a choice of who to try to improve. So there's my A-ball players. I want to dip into my more recently drafted guys like Matt Ponatoski. I think we'll let him develop naturally for a year or two. Ethan Kloss, who we kind of had some hopes for, isn't really going too far yet. And real quick, let's look at the black team. They're the ones where I threw all my high prospects. Yeah, they're just so young. I don't want to do anything with them just yet. And back to A-ball. So this will be the final thing we look at. So is it going to be Braden Jaska, who is coming along slowly but surely? What helps a guy like this develop most? I believe it's eye. I don't think the other medium program gap power is going to help him all that much. His catching has come along. He was not a 50-50-55 guy before. And he did only hit 210, which is a little unfortunate. We are going to probably move him up. Let me see what his ratings are relative to High A. We are the South Atlantic League. Ooh. And then he's only 2 stars relative to his own league. I don't know if that can be right if he's 1.5 star relative to the majors. I don't know, but I want to improve his eye. But there is maybe another consideration. Let's look at a couple guys. He's not like high velo, not like super duper high upside. We'll let that be. Landon Stripling, we want to just leave him alone, I think. And then Zion Theophilus. Ooh, that control. Developing that control is a really good idea with him. Man, he looks ready to move up to High A as well. I don't know if I want to forsake my catcher, because this is the next catching prospect who actually stands a chance, in my opinion. All right, we're doing Braden Jaska, and we're going to work on his plate discipline. But I'm also going to look through... see if there's somebody who maybe I want to train up less than I do Zion. No. Maybe Blake Aida. Okay, let's take a closer look at this. Who's got the real upside here? Gosh, I think it's Zion. I mean, he's got that better control potential. Yeah, so we're going to take Blake Aida off of there, and we're going to give that slot to Zion, and we're going to try to improve his control. And so that's how I look at the development lab. Hopefully that helped, or hopefully you have some insights to help me. But I think we're set up for a slightly more interesting, higher stakes approach this year than we were last year. So I do have some coaches to replace. There's a lot of excellent or better pitching coaches that would be willing to work with my AAA team. That's kind of crazy, right? I did already offer one of them. And the hitting coaches are even crazier. Look at all this. So the game's lost its mind. We're going to find basically perfect coaches. So I'm going to do a deep dive into the coaching, see where we can make improvements. A lot of these guys are also on the younger side too, so that's pretty crazy. Real quick check of the waiver wire. Probably no one I'm kind of interested in this man. But yeah, nothing amazing there. Anybody on the trading block? Not really anybody for me. So we'll take a quick look back at the ARB. There's going to be some tough decisions here, for sure. Like I said, I want to sign Doyle, Wynn, and Casas, and I won't sign Clemens until I find out if he's okay after his injury. Probably cutting loose Edward Cabrera. Just a cost thing. I would really like to keep him around. And then some of these minor leaguers are going to be unhappy with me. Oscar Colas, Michael Plasmeyer are certainly going to leave. I would expect Reese Hines to as well, because he probably can find a job on a major league team. Gavin Sheets did stick around for us, so we're going to go ahead and offer him just a minor league deal again, see if he stays. And without a lot of free agents out there coming up, there isn't that much of a need for the whole $40 million. So maybe we'll be in good shape, but I am just worried about these contracts going forward. So we'll dive deeper into that. We'll get into all that ARB, all that free agency, and make all those big offseason decisions that are going to help us win next year. So thanks for watching. It's been a blast again. I can't wait for Season 3. Once again, I feel like we're going to be real strong. We might take it down. But in any case, I hope to see you for the next one. So long and take care.